We've been tracing the El Camino Real of the Spanish colonists that started setting up monasteries and missions, starting from San Diego in the early 1700s, and then they finished the last one north of San Francisco in the early 1800s. So we are here at Santa Barbara now, and before this we visited San Juan or San Luis Obispo, and then before that San Juan Bautista. So it's fascinating to really follow the colonial history, especially the Spanish, who has shown up here and surprised the native people who were living here, Walloon community north of here. So one of the missions that the Spaniards had was to convert the native people to Catholicism. So this is a Franciscan Catholicism that they followed, and part of the mission was to then give them Spanish citizenship once they converted to Catholicism. So converting to Catholicism was also a part of the process to move the native people away from their oneness with nature. They believed in the sun and the moon and the earth and the soil, and worship and appreciated the nature that gave them the bounty to live. So here we see the two contrasts of converting the native people to come under the wing of believing in God, believing in one God, who a creator, and then having faith in that process. So as human beings, we have always been curious about our existence, the purpose of our life, and what happens to us after we are dead and gone. So all those questions, we seek answers, and religion has played an important role in answering some of those questions, in giving us an anchor to live well with. However, as the world has become smaller and smaller because of technology, because of people's movements and all that too, these are different beliefs now. We can say there are different tribes even from these different beliefs based on stories, based on creation stories and myths. They're now starting to clash with each other. Well, it's not as if it happened yesterday, but they've been starting to clash with each other over the last couple of hundred years since there was movement among the people. So those clashes have created a situation in the world where we are now facing immense conflict with technology that can annihilate us in just one go. So this separation comes from the different stories, different beliefs, and these are essentially also man-made stories, and especially because the stories have come down orally and in written form. So we now need to think about, how do we go back to basics, how do we go back to the fundamentals of what the natives believed, what the aboriginal people believed. So the aboriginal people in the Americas who encountered the Europeans, who believed in their oneness with nature, and that goes hand in hand with the Eastern practices, the Vedic practices, Harappan practices of mindfulness, in terms of acknowledging the breath, the focus on the breath. So as soon as you focus on the breath, you become aware of your fragility, you become aware of your oneness with nature, because this air that I breathe comes from the ocean. Behind me, I'm here in Santa Barbara in California, and then the trees and the soil, right? So we are at crossroads right now as a humanity. How do we then find that balance between the religious beliefs as well as looking at the truths of our oneness with nature? That's the biggest question that we have.